Does anyone else have that hair that gets tangled by just existing? Because I do. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Josie something. Thanks for being here again. Hey, what's up? If you watched the last video, thank you so much. That video almost got like 100 views. Given that this channel is only 4 videos old, I think that's pretty cool. I think I have like 14 subscribers now. Again, pretty minuscule in the grand scheme of things, but at the end of the day, we're just a dot in the middle of nothing, so nothing matters. Today, I thought it would be really cool to talk about something that people don't really think about when you don't have anxiety, like me. Meeting your idols while having really bad anxiety. If I have new people here who are watching me for the first time and are like, who the hell is this chick? Hi, I'm Josie, I have really bad anxiety and I talk about it on the internet. My anxiety is powerful in very specific moments of my life. Listen, I've been very fortunate in my life to meet a good amount of people who I admire. And I never take that for granted. I just wish I could handle it better. I'm that person who sits down the night before and is like running through their heads just everything that they want to say to make sure they don't come off looking like an idiot in front of the person they admire most in this world. Probably won't sleep because I'm just so nervous, and it's not even the fact of meeting them, it's just that they have to meet me. That's my thinking process. They're forced to meet me now. I'm sorry I'm submitting you to this. I'm gonna give you a couple examples of meeting people who I admire and acting a fool. 1. For those who've seen my second video, I'm a huge fan of MCR. I will always be a fan of My Chemical Romance. Please, let's have a moment of silence. While I'm a huge fan of everyone in that band, there is one person who I lean towards the most, and that is Frank. He is the guitarist. Was the guitarist. I'm totally over this. The rhythm guitarist. Something about the way he expressed himself visually and words that just really got to me, and I don't know, I followed him and I will follow him till I die. I was able to get tickets to the Grammy Museum in 2011 where they were doing an interview, and it was a really special interview because they were talking really intimately about how they started and just everything that any fan would have died to see. So the night started with me almost puking in my seat because I couldn't handle the sheer excitement and nerves. I just couldn't believe and wrap my head around that I was about to just sit there and see one of my favorite bands just talk for an hour. Like, that was crazy to me. Side note, remember that I was living in Argentina. Not a lot happens in Argentina. So the fact that I was in LA, I was sitting there and this was actually going to happen, I had waited so long for an opportunity to just sit and just watch them. So we had talked to a couple of people that were there, we being my faithful companion, my sister, Jackie. She's younger than I am, and she took care of me. That's a sister. So my sister accompanied me, and so people heard that we had come from Argentina. Word spread very fast because there was only about 200 people there. It wasn't a lot of people. The host came out and was like really sweet, really nice, and he said something along the lines, this was before MCR came out, and he was like, I heard that we had fans coming from Brazil or something. God bless my sister, because I couldn't talk at this point. My sister like springs her hand up and is like, no, from Argentina. That's us, bitch. That's us. And he goes, really? That's even farther. Wow, well, like, congratulations for the furthest trip. Like, that's amazing that you would do that. And I'm just like, that happened, and I was like pissing myself, and my sister was like, did you see that? The band came out, right? And I'm just like, oh my god, it's Frank, Mikey, Ray, and Gerard just sitting there. I think we were like 5th row from the little stage. It didn't matter though, because it's such a small venue. I'm actually glad I wasn't in like a front row, because the host was like, before we start this, I just want to let you know, you have fans who came all the way down from Argentina. Where are they? And my sister was like, right here. And I was like, it signals us out, and they said hi to us, and they were like, that's really cool. And I was like, holy shit. I was crying and trying to be quiet because it was a very quiet audience because it was an interview, right? Question time came. The host selected a few individuals, what's up my peeps, and they asked some really good questions. Then this host says, where are the people from Argentina? Crap. Please don't ask me to ask a question. You get to ask 2 questions because you came so far. I forgot what 2 questions I asked. I didn't listen to anything that they said, and it's not on purpose. I couldn't listen. Well, then came the meet and greet. If sitting 5 rows away, I was a mess. Imagine a meet and greet. And I went up, and Ray realized that it was the Argentine fans. He was like, hey, and he came up to us. Wasn't supposed to, but he came up to us and he hugged us both, and we were like, oh my God, you are so sweet. And Mikey was really sweet. He was kind of quiet, but he was really, really nice. And then Gerard was, you know, Gerard just like super welcoming. Is like, hey, how are you? You're like awesome and blah, blah, blah. And I was fine with all of them, surprisingly. And then came Frank. And Frank is a cool guy. Frank is that type of person who makes you feel like you've known each other forever, and he's like, hey, it's been forever, how are you? And there I was, looking like I was looking at God in the face. It was like a tear in reality, and I was watching it happen, like an atom splitting in front of me. That's what it was like for me. Frank kind of just was like, hey, and I froze. I couldn't move. I don't know what happened. I wanted to be sucked into a black hole and never leave. It was bad. And he kind of just stood at me. He's like, you okay? And my sister kind of nudged me. She's like, yo, are you gonna move? Because like people need to like meet him. He stuck his hand out and I was standing there like an idiot, like staring at it like, oh, what am I supposed to do with that hand that's there? I'm not familiar with this gesture that's been around for centuries. He kind of just laughed and found my hand, shook it, and he's like, hey, it's nice to meet you, frozen one. And I was like, I'm a mess and I'm sorry. No, he was really sweet, and he was just telling me how cool it was that I had traveled from so far, and he was just the nicest person, and being just a sweetheart, And honestly, I couldn't have asked for someone better. Like, he was so sweet and nice, and just the most genuine person ever. And there I was being a fucking idiot, just standing there staring at him as if he were like some sort of statue. I'm sure he loved that. And for those of you wondering what I looked like in that picture, here you go. You see my face? You see it? Idol meeting number 2. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge fan of Supernatural. I have been for a very, very long time. More than anyone probably should be. I have been a huge fan of Jared Padalecki since Gilmore Girls. What an amazing show. My 11-year-old self was like, ooh, who are you? And so I followed him as much as one could in 2003, 4, and 5. It was the time of AOL and MSN chat, guys. What a time to be alive. Then I found out he was gonna be in the show called Supernatural, and I saw the trailer for it and stuff, and I was like, ooh, this looks cool. And it was very cool. As the show went on, so did social media, which meant that they could be more connected with fans, which means we got to see them more as people, and the convention videos would be online for people like me who were in a different country and had no access to a convention. I always dreamt of the day I'd go to a Supernatural convention, thinking it would never happen. But you know, life changes and my family moved back to California. During this time, I made friends with a very good person named Ashley, also in the Supernatural family. We became best friends. And she was like, well, why don't we go to the San Francisco one? Because I'm going. And I was like, okay. I don't know how it happened, but I ended up getting tickets to go in January. The convention was in December. And it sounds stupid, but I needed time to wrap my head around the fact that this was gonna happen. I flew out Friday morning and met up with Ashley at the hotel we were gonna stay at. The fact that she was there to accompany me was awesome because my anxiety was like riding me. 1, I had to fly. My anxiety was through the roof already. 2, thinking about meeting Jared Padalecki. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but the fact that Ashley was there to be kind of like my security blanket was awesome. So we got there and I was wrapping my head around what the hell was happening. And I was having the time of my life. Like, it was a really fun convention. I went to the karaoke on Friday night, which was an experience. I would look it up. It was insane. And I got to see a lot of people and actors who I admire and appreciate. And while I admire and appreciate them, it's not at the level of Jared Padalecki, because given my history with the man and just the things that he's done with the Always Keep Fighting campaign that reached into my soul and hugged it. Like, I can't explain what that campaign means to me. It was another level of appreciation for this human. And then Sunday came. And Ashley was being such a trooper and trying to calm me down and just reminding me that it was gonna be okay, that it was okay to be this anxious, like it was fine. Just let myself feel what I needed to feel. Like, she was awesome. I couldn't think of anything because I knew that this was gonna happen. We got in line. I was one of the last batch of people because they do it by a group of numbers, and I was the last batch of people to meet him, which is fine by me. Honestly, I didn't want to be the first. Honestly, wanted to be the last person there, just so I could keep wrapping my hand around it. I'm getting nervous just talking about this. I was holding Ashley's hand and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. This is not gonna happen. She's like, yes, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. So we got into the little room, the line continued, and I saw him. And at this point, it just was getting worse. Like, I don't know what happened, but I was just starting to panic. And it wasn't that I was meeting Jared. It was that mentality that he was meeting me. That poor guy was meeting me, and he didn't deserve that. Like, that was going through my head, you know, like, why would he meet someone like me? Like, look at what I'm doing. Like, I'm not worthy of this. Like, I don't deserve this. Why are you even here? What's the purpose of this? And then all those questions start going through my head. If there's one thing that triggers my anxiety, is asking myself unanswerable questions, and then I just go into a spiral. That's usually how it goes for me. And then I just broke down. I started crying because I was so unbelievably embarrassed. I felt like a loser and I felt like a complete failure. I had to go to the side and like cry my eyes out, apologizing to Ashley, even though she said, oh my God, why are you apologizing? Like, it's okay, it's fine. Meanwhile, people were just going, and then it was my turn. So there I was. He was there being his 6 foot whatever, you know, nice self, and there I was, a complete mess, just tears in my face. I was just like, well, this is my turn. This is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna be a complete fucking mess, and here we are. I kind of got the vibe that he knew that I was going through an unbelievably amount of anxiety, and he knew how to address the situation. One, he did not have to address the situation. He could have just been like, let me just take a picture with this crying girl and just get over with so I can go back to my life, man. He asked me my name, my age, where I was from. Simple questions, yes or no answers to. And that was just immediately calmed me down because I could answer them. That's where my head starts going, oh, okay, I can talk, like I can, you know, sort of be a person. And he was like rubbing my arms, and it was like super, super nice. And I said, look, I'm sorry that this is what you have to me. I'm so sorry. And he was like, you have nothing to apologize for. Like, don't ever apologize for being who you are. And he hugged me and he was like, listen, I'm gonna hug you, and that way you remember that no matter what happens, you'll look back at this and be like, okay, Jared's always got me. And I was like, I was like, thanks. And he was like, it's no problem. You're gonna be fine, sweetheart. I love you. And I was like, I love you too. That happened. And I just kind of left. And number 3, another really significant moment in my life who I met, someone who I really appreciated, was the beautiful Lindsay Way. She is the bassist of Mindless Self-Indulgence and is her own artist. Like, she's amazing. Her art is something I can't put into words of just how amazing it is. Unbelievable what that woman can do. She's not only that, she's just probably one of the top females that I am inspired by her strength and her perseverance. I love that. I love her. So I was living in LA when I was around 18, 19 years old, and I was given the opportunity to go at an incredible art show with Lindsay and Jessica Adams. I recommend checking out their art. It's like really, really cool. And I saw her like walking around and stuff. And not only that, Chantal was there, also an incredible woman. I love her in Morningwood, and just, I love her. I love Chantal too. So this was just like a conglomeration of beautiful, strong, inspiring women, and I was just standing in the middle like, can I be anything remotely like you? One thing led to another, and I met Lindsay. I met Lindsay, and I was like, you're beautiful and I love your art, and God, I wish I was better at talking to people, especially people I admire. She was the absolute sweetest person ever. She was like, I really like your hair. You are so sweet and you are so nice and you're beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, Lindsay, stop. Why are people so nice to me when I'm just a fucking mess? I was like, can I take a picture? And she was like, absolutely. I'm about to show you this picture. Chantal was there kind of just like smiling over the situation, right? Because Chantal and Lindsay are like BFFs. Her and her husband, Jimmy Urine, lead singer of Mindless Self-Indulgence, decided it was a good opportunity to photobomb my picture with Lindsay. It's probably the best picture I have of myself ever. Here it is. It's pretty incredible. After that, I just kind of backed off and I was like, okay, cool, bye. And I was like, you never have to see me again. Never. The experiences were just unforgettable. You know, I'll always hold them close to my heart. And, you know, even though I do have really, really bad anxiety, I'll probably be the same way. It'll come with the negative thoughts of like, I'm not worthy, like I don't deserve this, like this is stupid, they shouldn't waste their time with me because who the hell am I? I'm a little better. I still get starstruck and I don't know what to do. And sometimes it's just really embarrassing, and I feel like, I ask myself the question sometimes of why am I like this? I'm slowly starting to stop asking that question. It's just like, I'm just like this. It's gonna get better, and it has been getting better. During those moments, in my head, I thought that they probably thought this is the dumbest and stupidest girl they've ever met. When in reality, they probably thought this is really sweet. I like that you're such a fan of my work. That's probably all they were thinking. And I worked myself up to the point of completely dismantling, degrading myself and everything that I've built, because that's what my anxiety does. It's okay for it to happen. Just remember that it's your anxiety talking, not you. Moral of the story. No, you're not the only one who freaks out when meeting people that you admire. You're not alone in that. It's okay, you know, we can be really uncomfortable, awkward koalas together. It's fine. I'll be your friend in that moment. You can be mine. We'll hold each other and cry and shiver. It's okay. At the end of the day, the people that you admire you right back for sticking with them. So, to Frank, Jared, Lindsay, thank you. Thank you for being pinnacle moments of my life of growth. Your kindness has left a mark in my heart that will never be erased. So thank you. And friends, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you sitting with me for another long period of time out of your day just to kind of listen to me being an anxiety wreck of a person. Let's be a wreck together. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more stories. And I upload a video every Friday. So until next Friday, why don't you look at the other videos that I did. The last video I did was the girlfriend tag with my beautiful girlfriend. Thanks so much for watching and listening to me again. And until next Friday, guys. Thanks.